to the number one seed in the East when their best player, who's probably going to win the MVP, couldn't make outside shots, and they built a fort around the restricted area, and he couldn't get there. Can you tell the people at home what happened, Skip?
And your point is?
My point is, until Zion develops an outside shot.
Okay. Zion Williamson last year, I don't know how this made, maybe it's a fabricated stat, but my stat sheet said he made 34% of his three-point shots. It's pretty good. RJ made 31% of his three-point shots, and he's supposed to be the shooter of the two. Really?
No, he's the scorer.
Oh, the scorer of the two.
Yeah.
And by the way, RJ from the free throw line made a LeBron-esque 67%. You like that number? Because that was exactly what LeBron made.
LeBron is not in this topic, Skip. I don't know why you brought him up.
It just sticks in my head. 67% when somebody across the table bet that he would make 80+% last year from the free throw line.
Well,
okay.
67. Go.
Next. So, guess what?
What?
Last year at Duke, would you believe that R.J. Barrett averaged taking 5 more shots a game than Zion did? And in ACC play, it was 19-12.
Okay.
R.J. over Zion.
Okay.
So I'm making the case, as I did yesterday, I think that R.J. actually hampered Zion. I think he handicapped Zion, and we haven't seen the greatest of Zion because he's just kind of going along for the ride. And he's such a good kid. He's so unselfish to a fault. He deferred to a fault to a kid that he's obviously, that they look like they're, I don't know what's the background of it, but they look like they're very close friends to me.
I agree.
They hug it out after every game. They're always very close to me. So the point is, to a fault, he's deferring to him when the go-to guy, the driving force of the team, was Zion. So if Zion has a little more of a green light from Alvin Gentry, I'm looking for much greater things in pro basketball than I even saw in college basketball. And Zion's going to have one huge advantage in pro basketball. I think he's going to play every possession in pro basketball like it's college basketball, which is not cool in pro basketball. He's going to play as hard as he can play every possession, and you just don't often find that. And when you couple that with 6'7", 285 of explosive leaping ability, unlike any we've ever seen, you're going to get extraordinary numbers over time.
You know, we're going to see what happens, how hard he's going to be playing when he has to go up against LeBron, he has to go up against AD and Kevin Durant and Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. We're going to see how long that lasts.
Okay.
Because you keep telling me about Ja Morant having to go against the Conleys and the Russes and the Stephs and the Dame Lillards, and granted, he will.
Okay.
But you make it seem like this dude got to go up against cream puffs because the 3 and the 4 position is very, very strong and well, alive and well in the NBA.
You know what? Giannis doesn't pack near the physical punch this kid already packs. I'm talking about bowling ball punch. I'm talking about knocking people out of the way. Giannis knocks nobody out of the way because once they built that wall and they put number 2 right in front of him and then they put those 3 mountain men behind him, there's nowhere for him to go because he has no mid-range at all.
So what do you think they're going to do to Zion, who has even less than a mid-range than Giannis?
I disagree with that.
I don't.
Just wait. Just wait. I saw lots of mid-range from him.
you didn't.
I just didn't see many opportunities because RJ's taken all the mid-range.
Don't do that, Skip.
Yep.
Your guy was hanging out around the basket. I got no problem with that. Play to your strengths. Everybody say develop. Okay, no. I'm going to make my strengths even stronger. So I got no problem with him hanging around the basket, getting putbacks, dunking it, laying the ball up. I got no problem with that. But don't pretend like he could take people off the dribble like R.J. Barrett could. There's a reason why Coach K, who's a 5-time national championship winning head coach, put the ball in R.J. Barrett's hand in late game situations.
How'd that turn out?
Skip.
It was just wrong. It's flat out wrong. I called him out for it. I'm not hindsighting this. I did. I called him out the next day. What are you doing?
But there's a reason why he kept doing it. He's privy to information you nor I have, which is I get a chance to see these guys in practice and in one-on-one and in late game situation. One guy can get to the basket and dish off, and the other guy can only dish.
Well, so RJ's godfather was Steve Nash, but it's not his father. It's his godfather, right? His father, maybe it's a different conversation. I don't know.
You saw RJ Barrett has a better ISO game because he can handle the ball.
I get you, but Zion handles it just as well. He just doesn't play that way. RJ's a slasher, but you got to be a finisher at the next level.
Yes.
Okay, so for the Knicks, he's going to be another classic Knick player who shoots 25 shots a game, and he averages 25 points a game.
But Skip, what do you
they go nowhere.
With Dennis Smith and Kevin Knox and Noah Vonleh, I mean, Moutier. I mean, what is he supposed to do? Frank Ntilikina,
I know. Ntilikina.
Ntilikina.
You know?
I mean, what's he supposed to do?
Well-
he's going to get 25 shots again.
Well, in 2 years, if he's got KD and Kyrie, we'll see.
No.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, he'll be a nice third option. Maybe he turns
That
out to
would
be
work.
a poor man's Klay Thompson.
Okay, maybe he would. No, he can't shoot a lick like that. I mean,
Well,
come on, he can't shoot threes.
No, I'm just saying.
Okay, like a third wheel.
Yeah.
Okay, he'd work as a third wheel, but Zion's going to be the first wheel, the second wheel, and the third
No.
wheel.
We're going to talk about this, but that's not what David Griffin said.
Okay, well-
He said, don't do that.
Okay, well, I'm doing it already because he is that good and he can live up to that. And this is the classic case of one guy makes all his teammates better, Zion.
Ja.
RJ makes nobody better.
What about Ja?
Well, that's all he does is make his teammates better.
He
But
can
his
score
teammates
20 and 10.
they're going to have to cover for him on the other end of the floor.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. It's not, you make it seem like Murray State talent and Duke talent is comparable.
No, I
Can
didn't
you
say
imagine if John Morant had RJ Barrett, had Cam Reddish, had those guys?
Okay, I got you. But they destroyed Marquette. They just
Yeah, he did. With a
Wojo
trip dub.
looked bad. It was destruction. And then what happened? The very next game, what happened? They run up against Florida State,
yeah.
long, athletic,
Yes.
physical,
Yes.
nasty.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Yeah.
Nothing happened. Like they just got taken completely out. And again, he didn't have much, if any, help.
Right.
I will give you that. I still love the kid. I still like the pick. But this was a one-player draft. And the one
It was
player,
three-player
you hit
draft.
the lottery. You got him.
Here-
Period.
here's-
End of story.
Let's be all the way 100. 29 teams would have selected number one and would have kept the pick. If the Lakers get the number one overall pick, what's going to happen, Skip Bayless? Jen Hale, you can chime in too if you like. They're going to trade his butt to New Orleans for Drew Holiday and AD. And now you can have Zion, you can have Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram, but we getting two guys in return. So don't pretend like, were they going to trade LeBron? Were they going to trade Magic Johnson? No.
I don't get your point exactly.
You
So,
keep saying it was a two-player draft. I mean, a one-player draft.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Any team would have loved to have Zion.
Okay.
No question, Skip. But if the Lakers get that pick, they're moving him. They don't believe he was the guy.
How do you know that? What this has nothing to do with the Lakers. And who's to say the Lakers wouldn't have said,
Nah, we good. We want AD and Holiday.
okay, I'll give you this. Right here, right now, if you gave me a choice for LeBron James as he enters his last two good years, sure, I'm going to go with the established Anthony Davis.
That's all I'm talking about.
No,
Skip,
that's
baby.
not. I'm talking about long-term impact because, listen, Zion will have twice the long-term impact that Ja or RJ will have. Twice. He'll have. I'm talking about offense, defense, making team better, being the face of the franchise, the driving force of the franchise. Zion will have twice the impact those two kids will
He'll
have.
be out of
And they're both just nice players. They're really nice.
And he'll be out of New Orleans in 6-7 years.
Okay. Well, so what's your point? Because he's going to go somewhere else because they're going to pay him the max?
Nope.
You mean he's going to be a bust?
No. He's going to be up out of there. He ain't going to want to be there. He's going to
Okay.
be on a bigger stage.
Okay, well, that's fine, but maybe he'll fall in love with this stage. You can do great things on little stages, right?
Oh, we want to do
Ask number 2. That's a little stage, according to you. You said it's somewhere up there in Canada.
Whoa. Time
Right?
out. Hold on. Do you understand what Kawhi Leonard is? So now he's going to be even better than Kawhi. A 2-time defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
A 2-time. Skip, there are very few players that have Kawhi Leonard's resume. This guy's unproven now. Come on.
Well, I didn't
You
say
go
that.
overboard. You fall in love
I didn't
hard.
say that Zion. Remember, number 2 got drafted, stolen by the Spurs with the 15th overall pick to go play with Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker, coached by Greg Popovich. That'll work, won't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so his resume came from that.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't. He went out on his own, branched out on his own.
Plus, he had no shot when he came in. He was all D, no O. And Chip England, the shot doctor, the greatest shooting guru and coach in the league, rebuilt his whole shot. And he paid us back by stiffing us.
No,
Way to go.
Skip, you know what?
Well, he did.
You, look
He
here.
did.
You fall in love. I mean, you fell in love with this kid from like the first time you saw him. You that guy that go out on a date one time and buy the girl $1 million crib. Stop falling in love so quick. Let it play out. You make it seem like John Miranda's a bum.
I told Ernestine on our very first date, I've told you this before, I said, if this goes anywhere, you're always going to be 1A to my job. I told her that. She said, okay, I accept that.
No, Ernestine
Right?
didn't say that.
She did.
You
Off
told,
your feet.
you told,
I
you
swept
told
her off her feet, but she accepted it. And it's still true to this day. But it's a good 1A. because nobody else gets any. Whatever I got left, she gets it. So
you
she
only
did
give
exactly.
5% because his job is everything. And you be harassing me.
Well, okay, you get it all. You get the one.
You get
With
95%,
both barrels every day.
comes to the job.
That's correct.
Or Ernestine.
Yeah, I know.
Well, speaking of relationships, the one between Zion and the city of New Orleans officially begins today. He has his introductory press conference, 3 o'clock Central Time in the Crescent City.
Well,
So the
let's hope
Zion
it's not
era
a victory
begins.
parade because we're a little premature.
Oh, no, don't do that. No, you don't hype this man up. He Magic Johnson and
Up
LeBron.
next, speaking of Zion, he paid homage to King James last night with his
Yes.
draft outfit and
Did
maybe
he?
a little bit to skip too. We can debate that.
Yeah.
Now, should LeBron give Zion career advice?
That's a good
We'll
question.
discuss that up next. And don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports Channel on SiriusXM. We'll